So the stigma that comes around this is that society may call human trafficking prostitution, but federal law calls it sex trafficking. And when I first started, it was all about prostitutes. Well, since they're being forced and coerced and threatened to do what they do, they're being trafficked. It isn't their choice. So they are trafficked victims. Now, they don't look at themselves as trafficked victims, but they do consider themselves survivors. So there's a little change in vocabulary with that, from victims to survivors, because if they reach out and they want some help, they're survivors. And if they're really trying to get a new life and put the past behind them, they're survivors. So we need to applaud them and affirm them in that. The victims need help, not judgment or punishment. So there's a little bit of a shift that is happening in how we think of it, how we look at it, and I think even how we can be more effective in helping them. And because of the social stigma or misinformation, victims are usually unidentified. So they are silenced by fear and control of the trafficker. So many times they'll be looking at their phone, looking over their shoulder. They can leave a grocery store and their trafficker will be out there to make them go with them or force them to the next thing. So it's important to see that some of these behaviors and things, and we might even see this along in the work that we do, is there a backstory? Is there something that's really prodding them in that direction that they wouldn't have normally chosen? One of the things that they do is once they're addicted to drugs, many times with the substance use disorders, they go back to their trafficker because they need that next hit, or they need that supply that they can't live without. So what we might kind of look at as why isn't she accepting the help, or why isn't he coming along with us on this? Many times it's because of the fear. And I think that fear is something we don't necessarily have full comprehension of because of the psychological background, what they've been through with their trafficker. Because of the social stigma, victims are misidentified because they're pigeonholed into treatment for surface issues. And I think we see that somewhat in, say, the hospitals. Basically, if they show up and they're ODing, they're a druggie. Nothing really goes beyond that. What other social services, what other behavioral health, mental care, and opportunities do we have there for this person? So there's a lot of different areas. It's not just hospital, but a lot of different areas where if we can look beyond what the surface issue is, which we are trying to do so much with our mental health. So if we can look behind that and assess that, we can maybe meet the needs a little differently. Since this is reported mainly through self-reporting, statistics are lacking for the full extent of trafficked victims. And again, like I mentioned before, they usually do not consider themselves victims. So they're only self-reporting when they really come forward and say that they're being trafficked and they need help with that particular issue. Otherwise, we might not quite see it for what it is. Many times they are overlooked as druggies instead of sex trafficked victims.